Can everyone hear me? I'm not much of a person to be restrained by a podium, so I might move around a little bit here. But I'm excited to be with you this afternoon and share with you actually a focus program for the NFL that we did with Crown Royal. If you go to the next, you can go to full slideshow if that's cool. So I'm going to talk about Crown Royal, which is one of the most valuable whiskies in North America, one of my favorite brands of many. And it is a brand that has been built on really thinking about what generosity means and what it means in the US. And it's a brand that's been built on really getting out there and saying, it's not what we have, but what we give. And working with Anomaly, we came up with a great campaign, which was all about, you can go to the next slide, live generously and life will treat you royally. And we've been actually executing against this platform for about the last 5 years. If you go to the next slide, here are a couple of ways that we've done that. Okay, we started off with, if anyone's had a Crown Royal, it comes in a purple bag. We took that purple bag and we said, how can we use this bag as a symbol for giving? And we launched the Purple Bag Project, which was all about basically having people bring into store their extra purple bags, and we would take them and then stuff them with essentials and then send them to the military. So we have at the corner of the brand is a giving platform called the Purple Bag Program. And we actually stuffed 1 million bags and reached that milestone last year. But over COVID, we took the platform to different places. So it was clear that we needed to support the communities who support us, right? Which is the hospitality community, the bars, clubs, the stages, all across America. And we launched a piece of film with Anthony Ramos and Ari Lennox, which was all about saying, if you want me to stay, please stream this song and we will donate to the hospitality industry. And we ended up raising from all those efforts about $2 million for the hospitality industry over COVID. The CMAs we've been a part of, working with them to help stuff bags to send to the military for the last 4 years. And, over last year, we did things like got out on the streets, documented the statements and the art through all of Black Lives Matter to actually document what people were saying and how they were feeling. So the brand has played a really critical role in giving back to communities. And the NFL has been a big part of that. So if you go to the next slide, what you'll see here is that in 2017, we got invited into the NFL where we weren't allowed to sort of advertise previous to that. And we said, well, how are we going to do it? Well, we're going to do it in a different way, all right? We are going to go into the game and we're going to go in with a social responsibility message, which encourages people to enjoy their beverages as they're socializing through the game, but not to overconsume. And we launched the platform which reminded people to have a water break as they were getting into their game day celebrations. Huge success. And then we also took the Purple Bag Project to a bigger stage with the NFL, packing many, many bags with many, many of the NFL players and supporting the military. So, of course, when Diageo said we're going to become a national sponsor of the league across our whole portfolio, we said, well, what are we going to do now? And it was time to take it up yet another notch. So you can go to the next slide. What we did was, you can skip through this. I just said that, didn't I? What we said was, let's go and talk to people about what they want to see. Okay, what is it that they're looking for? Well, clearly everyone was hankering for game day experiences off the back of COVID and not seeing people. But also what they said was, we have a real desire to see the NFL give back to the community. So we said to ourselves, how can we take our platform of live generously and life will treat you royally and turn game day into the biggest giving day of the year? And that's where we came up with our mission, which is the next slide here, which is, we believed that Crown Royal could help turn game day into the biggest giving day of the year. We did that through a platform. If you go to the next one, oh no, this is our ambition. So how are we going to do that? We were going to do that through 2 key communities, hospitality, because they still needed our help, and the military. And so then if you go to the next slide, what you'll see is, okay, wrong deck, that's okay. Yeah, there we go. Slide. The big idea, right? The big idea was to harness the fans and give them a vehicle to actually give back. Okay, so we developed this idea, which is kick off with the crown. And the whole thing is about get a crown, kick off game day, and when you do, we will donate and give back to the small places that make the big game day big. So if you move to the next slide, I think what you'll see is this is how we launched the idea in television.
Game day.
Are you ready for some of this coffee?
Yeah. A minute to the kick. And it's not a kickoff without the small places that make game day big. It's not a kickoff without Dave on the door. What's up, Dave? It's not a kickoff without Manny's or Mickey's packed and shoulder to shoulder. Without Ray working the remote. Hope you made room. Because it's not a kickoff without a proper cut of something. Without Scatino's famous ziti.
Scatino's?
All ready for you.
It's a minute to the kick. And it's not a kickoff until Loretta drops 3 cubes of ice into 2 fingers of crown. So raise your glass and kick off a crown.
So that was the TV that we So, but it wasn't just about putting TV out there and announcing it. What we needed to do was enable people to participate all the way through all the extended NFL platforms. And I know you heard yesterday about how many places people are engaging in the NFL. So our job was to say, how are we going to get into those platforms and actually ignite this idea for good? So what you're seeing up here was pre-kickoff at the beginning of the season. What we did was we took the promotional breaks and we inserted, it's actually the first time this has ever been done with the NFL, inserted this QR code where consumers could download it, and every time they did it, took them to the site, and then we matched the donation that they wanted to send to a local place. So that was pretty awesome and first of its kind. If you go to the next one, what you'll see here is this is actually in Dallas when they kicked off beginning of the season, and we had DeMarcus Ware and Riley Green, who, if you don't know who he is a big country music guy, do a concert, a private, intimate concert for 100 workers in hospitality through Southern Smoke, and honored them. And with this concert, we actually gave back to those 100 hospitality outlets through Southern Smoke. So it was pretty awesome.
You ready, Mace? Party people in the place to be. It's about that time for us to. Yeah, what you know about going out? Head west, red legs, TVs, all up in the headrest. Try and live it up, rock jewel, bigger truck, piece all glittered up, stick a kid for what? Jig with a cut, slip crisp, spit it up. Rock, get your nut till I can't get it up. I'm a big man, get this man room. I done hit everything from Cancun to Grand Tune. Why you stand on the wall, hand on your balls, lighting up drugs.
Super fun. If you go to the next one, so that was in Dallas for the kickoff. This is one of my favorites. So there's like, everyone knows that there's a secondary platforms around the NFL and everyone's betting on their team. So we're like, how can we use those platforms and take the betting and turn it into a for good platform? So if you placed a wager on your team for $25, we picked it up and we donated $25 to the charity of your choice. So I particularly love this because it's an amazing place where people participate, and we could turn everybody, we could do a match 1-for-1 and turn it into some good in the local community. We can go to the next one here. Oh yeah, this is in stadium. We didn't let people get away. So we had the teams and the local stadiums and the local community nominate their heroes from hospitality and the military, and then we basically amplified them in stadiums locally that deserves a crown and honored their work in the community, which was really cool. Obviously, we use social, e-com, and CRM to get the message out to our database and our communities. We did that in a number of ways, and I think we can chat about that in the fireside chat, so happy to answer questions on that. So part of the season, even though we kicked it off and we said we're going to do this, is Crown Royal has always owned Thanksgiving as the biggest giving time of the year. So we're like, how are we going to dial this up to 150 versus what we've been doing? And So the name of the game was to turn Thanksgiving purple and to give as much as we possibly could. And this is the tactics we put in play. So I've told you about the purple bag stuffing, and this was where we got the NFL and our local stadiums and our local team deals to actually hold the biggest Thanksgiving purple bag stuffing for the military. And we ended up stuffing over, I think it was like 250,000 bags.
This Thanksgiving, Crown Royal is giving back and saying thanks to the hospitality community, all of the people and places that make game day great. Crown Royal is supporting the generous acts off the field as we all enjoy the generous acts on the field. Visit kickoffwithcrown.com and we'll donate to the small places that make game day big.
So that's Erin Andrews, but we had lots of other people take over and do those spots, which is pretty cool. Got a big result out of them. So impact, let's talk impact. We reckon at Crown Royal, if you go to the next slide here, that doing good is just smart, makes everyone feel good, and great business. And what we saw was people were thrilled with what we were doing in relation to the NFL. You can see some stats here. We do tracking like everybody else. Is a great addition to my game day experience, is a brand that gives back to my community. So we got a lot of results. And on the next slide, you'll see that we raised, that slide's gone. Anyway, we raised a lot of money for local hospitality and military communities across all of our 17 focused team deals, and managed to, I think, contribute in total up to about 2.5 million across the season so far, and the Super Bowl this Sunday. So I hope you kick off with the Crown on Sunday, and I hope you enjoyed that little session. Very hard work, and it had a lot of fun doing it. Thank you.